Welcome to the BudsnReality Show. I'm Sean Collins, the guy with a lot to say. And guess who's back this week, y'all? Mr. Bubba the Mowf is gracing us with his presence. How you doing, sir? It's good to have you back.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know what? I can't complain because nobody would listen anyway. So I mean, like, life is good, man.
What do
Life
you
is.
mean nobody listened, man? Everybody's listening to the show, baby.
I know. Nobody
Seen who
told
you've
me
had.
to complain. But you've been busy lately. You've been you took a sabbatical. You had to go for a while, and you
Took a
went and did
sabbatical.
something. Are we allowed to talk about what you went and did for a while, or is that a big no-no? We could just move on to something else.
Well, it's for a specific group of millionaires who are young. Yeah, they play a child's game. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Because
don't want to give too much out because you know how I run my mouth and uh all the views are none of theirs. It's mine. So,
right.
but But yeah, and then I ended up being the wife talk. We decided to go into business for ourselves. We do a cleaning slash landscaping thingy doing type. Not going to say the business name on here because you fuckers will run with it. Anyway,
Right.
I'm not stupid, motherfuckers. Anyway, just decided to go in for myself. I got tired of cooking. Really, really tired of it. Just rather enjoy my life. So, got God, family, life, whatever I like to do on the side.
Those are good things to have, God, family, and life. But who are you cooking for before we dig into this? Because I think this is pretty fucking cool what you went and did for a while.
I was cooking for the Lions, the Detroit Lions.
That's
I
pretty
was
dope,
cooking
dude.
for them.
What was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I got what's up?
What was that even like? That had to be pretty crazy.
You know what? It was crazy. First day there, I came out from our little area to go into the kitchen, and just sitting right there is Panay Sewell, offensive tackle for the Detroit Lions, watching Sports Center, and he's like, "Sup, bro?" And he just goes back into watching it because he's just waiting for breakfast to be served. I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy's huge." A lot of these guys who play professional football are huge. Just to let you know, if you ever think you want that smoke, no, no, God, no. I'm a heavy man, but they made me look medium. You know what I'm saying? They made me look medium.
I
Like,
bet.
Jesus. Even like the skilled guys, like you see, like the running backs and the tiny-ish, I say tiny-ish wide receivers on the field. No, they're ripped. They're, yeah,
How much do
they're
those
that
guys
guy.
eat, dude? Those are some large human beings. They have to eat.
Okay, little fun, little factoid. Yes, they eat some calories. However, they are very monitored with their nutritionists that they have. They're very awesome ladies. I will miss them. They were cool. However, from what I heard, uh, because we would like say I would make for breakfast Oreo pancakes, real sugar rushy foods, good to have into you, quick carbs and everything. They were not going after sweets. This I heard this was one of the only times within the chef and some of the other chefs they've only paid attention to what do you call it exactly what they're only supposed to eat. They are literally watching their own diets.
Okay.
Aleem McNeil dropped 13% body fat. He is a defensive tackle for the Lions. He was a great D lineman. He leaned up for this season. The Detroit Lions are gearing up and ready to roll. If you catch my drift, guys. Despite what happened with JMO Williams and the little sports thing that had nothing to do with football, it's just that he placed a bet inside the house, which they're all trying to fight right now. Um, the team's looking great, man. Oh my goodness. For what they drafted to Jack Campbell, middle linebacker, and then Gibbs, who they drafted is a running back, which everybody said they reached for, but he's more of a weapon, not just a running back, because he can play slot receiver and everything else. Team's looking good, man. You might want to start busting open that Kool-Aid that we
I
talked
told
about.
you I made the pitcher. I made the pitcher of Kool-Aid. I'm not quite ready to drink it yet. Let's get the season rolling. But I got to know something, because you said something to me one night after you were cooking for those guys that are prepping. Like you said you prepped an ungodly amount of chicken for these guys. You know, when you were prepping for these
Ungodly
guys,
amount.
like how much food do you prep for football players? Seriously, because that's pretty. I think it's pretty neat to know, like, you know, what goes
Now,
on behind the scenes and
for
shit.
for what they do is we didn't only just cook for the players, we cooked for the administrators too. Administrators and coaches ate upstairs, players ate in the main room where we got to see them eat. I want to say like maybe 4 cases of chicken breasts and thighs minimum.
Jeez.
If it's beef, we're talking tri-tip, baby, the leanest beef possible, barely no fat.
Wow.
They eat a lot of fruit too. I would always joke around. I'm the pineapple king apparently, because I would cut 3 cases of pineapple a day. I'm pretty good at it. Holy cow, that's a lot of pineapple.
Nice. They're nice.
And I did, folks. If you cut a lot of pineapple, say for a party and everything, snack on 1 or 2 pieces. Be disciplined. Don't put any more in your mouth. That pineapple, the juices and everything, will destroy your mouth.
Oh,
Back when
yeah.
I was smoking, I haven't had a cigarette now in over almost 2 months.
Good for you, man.
Been good. I remember one of the few days that I did have a cigarette left. I would smoke a cigarette and I wouldn't even taste cigarette. It's all pure pineapple, baby. It's
Wow.
crazy. It was all crazy.
Wow.
Another cool thing that when I was there, I got to go through my first draft night. That was a very interesting evening.
Yeah. How crazy was that to be there for the draft?
Let's just say certain players were picked. You definitely heard the coaches chime. And I mean chime.
Okay.
Like, good, you can go ahead and take that bleep bleep. I don't give a bleep bleep.
Well, Dan Campbell was
loud.
pretty colorful. I know that.
That wasn't Dan Campbell though. We're talking.
Okay.
These are the other coaches because remember you also have positional player coaches.
Right.
Which by the way, remember Dre Bly,
Yes.
the Lions head? Yeah, he's one of the positional coaches.
Interesting.
And I don't remember him ever being that small because on TV he just played like a giant.
Huh.
He's like maybe up to my shoulder.
Holy shit, man. That's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
well, hey man, if he was an All-Pro, I mean, he had hops and he could hit.
Yeah, I remember Dre Lively being around. What years were those? It wasn't that long ago, but it was kind of long ago. But probably within
we had the black
5
jerseys.
years.
We had the black jerseys with Joey Harrington.
That was that long ago? Holy shit, man. I'm living in the time warp then. Shows how much I pay attention.
It was definitely a fun experience. Just rather felt I had to go into business for myself. Me and my wife, we had a conversation and decided to, bet on us, bet on yourself in life. It's you do it yourself with what you do. So, we'll see where it goes, where it takes us.
You're the only person who's going to bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't really trying to bet on other people unless, well, I shouldn't say that because they do it every day when it comes to government. People are betting on their politicians all the time to change the world, and they never do. But, when it comes to like individuals, though, like, you got to do what's good for yourself and what's right for yourself, and, make those bets on your own, because nobody's going to make that bet for you or on you or about you. They're just not going to. That's not the way life works. Banks might do it, then they'll charge you an astronomical amount of interest after they give you a loan, because that's the way they do it. But
that's what I'm doing right now. The hardest part about having your own business is generating funds, and some of the hardest things to do. Look for the right proper loan, because yes, your credit score does count. However, you also have an EIN that you could use as a credit, its own Social Security. But however, trying to go with that only type of loan has a astronomical amount of interest on it, and it's it's a gut check. Do you really want to go down that path? Because it puts you in the hole real quick. You'll get the money to do what you need to buy and move forward, but you gotta, you know,
Well, you got to make
generate
sure
those
you have the
dollars.
business to, compensate not only keeping money in your pocket, but paying back that loan in a timely fashion. Because if you
Yep.
pay it off early, the interest won't be as bad.
And also, what it kind of reminds me of is back when I used to do real estate. You don't get paid until you sell that house, and you pretty much got to be a go getter. You have to build your leads. You have to do all your contacts. A lot of cold calling. Pretty much you got to. You're putting your neck, your nuts on the line. You got to do it. You don't eat. So
Well, I'll tell you what, being self-employed now, I've been on my own with my painting business since 2018. And I did it for years before that for, other companies and such. But since I've gone on my own, I've learned a lot. And what I have learned is that being self-employed isn't all what it's cracked up to be. Yes,
nope.
I love my freedom. I definitely love that freedom, and I love making my own schedule. But let me tell you about something making about your own schedule. Okay. When you make your own schedule, you're not really making your own schedule. You're making it to cater around your clients. Okay. Like me personally, I like to start work at 8 a.m. And, I'm usually done by 2 o'clock. Those are my personal hours that I like to be done by when I'm working for myself. I'm not trying to do it all day, because number one, I'm usually at the paint store before that and doing a bunch of running around in the morning. But like working for yourself is crazy because you're not getting a check every Friday or every other Friday. You have to fetch your own work. You have to make sure you're bidding the jobs right because let me tell you something. I've learned a couple of hard lessons on bidding jobs. I've worked, a whole week before for $300, back in the day because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, charging
Mm-hmm.
money for jobs and such, So those are things you really got to look out for. And then, working around other homeowner schedules, like I like to start at 8, but sometimes people don't want you in their house until 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So, then you got to restructure your things. It's not quite your schedule. It is to a point like days off and stuff. Yeah, I'll take those off as I please. But as far as like my hours go, those are more dictated by the homeowner that I'm working for. I would say 95% of them are like, yeah, man, just come in and do your thing and it's fine. And then some are like, can you not start till 9 or 9:30? We got to get our kids off to school, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So
I've been around some people who've done similar work to what that my side of the business is going to do, such as, hey, we need like tree stumps removed and brush cleaned and all like those odd jobs. I've actually helped out some folks, so I kind of got a taste what I'm up against. But you're 100% right. You try to make that schedule around the client too. It can be a real pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, and well, part of it is like sometimes if they do have kids, especially little ones, you have kids, so you know how it goes, trying to get the kids off to school, especially when they're little, and they're like,
Oh
"Get
yeah.
your bus in gear! It's time to go. The bus is going to be here in 5 minutes. You ain't even got your fucking clothes on yet." You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to listen to that shit in the morning. Like I'm still trying to wake up and just try to be in my Zen vibe. I don't want to hear people screaming at their kids getting
Are
off.
you trying to say you get flashbacks of your childhood sometimes?
Yeah, maybe sometimes.
Hurry the fuck in! Oh,
You're gonna miss the bus, damn it. But
pretty much.
but yeah, man, that's good. I'm glad you're working for yourself and you're gonna get that going. If you have any questions about being self-employed, you can pick my brain whenever you want. I'm not
I'll
yeah,
pick it.
I'm full of sub knowledge. I don't know everything, but I know some, you know. But we got some fuckery to get into, man. It's been a while and there's been some fuckery. Holy shit.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, especially when you try to force yourself off the internet. The internet just comes to you. It's crazy.
I have been trying to like not pay so much attention to a lot of this shit, and then some of it just falls onto your lap. Like
Well, it's
it's
almost unheard for me because you have an iPhone, right? It tells you how long you're on your phone and everything. Gives you weekly updates of your progress and whatever you do, which is kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time. One week I was on my phone, maybe I averaged 15 minutes a day.
nice.
When I was cooking, because I would watch shows and everything, we're talking like 8+ hours on my phone. So when you're sitting back going, oh shit, that's crazy.
That is crazy, and a lot of us live on our phones. That's not good. Mrs. Buds gets after me about that shit all the time. You know, get off your phone, get off Twitter, you know,
Oh yeah.
this, that, you know, I understand, you know, a lot of times I'm trying to push the show and whatnot, you know, but it's not good to be on social media all the time. It'll make you fucking crazy, you know, dealing with a bunch of dirt bags and people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, you know, but I also have a ton of fun with it too. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But
You are a fun troll. I will say. I've always watched your stuff. I've always read you, man. It's hilarious. I love how you go after people sometimes. Like, holy shit.
oh yeah, I love giving people the business, you know, it's been a lot of fun. But you totally just appeared, but I like your sign in the background.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I'm kind of dicking right now because I have a shoe underneath a desk I can't get and it's gone. And so we'll just get it after the show, no problem. Just trying to
Sweet.
move around this desk. So I'm
Gotcha.
sitting here one shoot. But yes, man, I hate being bipolar, but man, it's awesome.
But dude, so let's get into RFK, man, because that's the one that's, you know, that one broke social media, broke Twitter, you know, it broke social media altogether. Like it's everywhere right now. So RFK gets on Joe Rogan. Most people already know this, you know, and he goes on there and he blasts the vaccine. He blasts big pharma. He blasts the healthcare system. And I mean, some of the stuff he was saying is like, you know, the type of shit that could probably get him killed. You know, I hate to say something like that, you know, but Clint Russell had
Does he want to see his relatives? Keep it up, bud. I swear to God, you're going that
for
route.
real though, like for the shit he's saying about, you know, big pharma and stuff like that. I mean, I'll just come out and say it. RFK didn't kill himself, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But
RFK loves his life. I swear to God, he does.
he does love his life and he's not suicidal, but holy shit, you know, that Rogan show, you know, it was actually brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. So he knows what he's doing. RFK's smart. And you know, he knows how to play a crowd. He knows who he's targeting. And it's kind of funny because a lot of libertarians like him. A lot of libertarians actually love him.
They do. They do.
And I'm like, well, to each their own and whatever. I don't really give a shit. You know, that's not my guy. I won't vote for authoritarians. That's not my vibe. You know, I'm not doing
and
it.
then mainstream media was like, this is what we need. This will help us get back to what we used to do when Trump was back in office. We had something to talk about finally. And then it just became a circus. It just kept going and going and going.
This is great. So you know, it's all over Twitter. You know, there's little snippets of him, you know, just totally bashing the system, the medical system, big pharma.
Yeah, like I told you, they scrubbed the shit out of this on YouTube. Like, there's only like 2 little segments on JRE podcast, man.
Yeah, you
There's
can't get it on Spotify.
anything.
Spotify took the show down too.
I looked
like, for it. So Spotify took it down. YouTube took it down.
This was gold. Yeah. Oh, I know, because right then and there it tells you what. Pockets are lined. Pockets are lined.
So, you know, this doctor comes out is Dr. Peter Hotez. I think I'm saying that.
Yep, Hotez.
Dr. Hotez, you know, Dr. Pete, I'll call him. He comes out and just smashes what RFK says on Joe Rogan's show and says it's all misinformation and, you know, he shouldn't be saying that shit and it's completely wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know, just totally goes with the left side's narrative of the vaccine and whatnot. Well, Joe Rogan comes out and says, yo, I will put up $100,000 cash to any charity of your choice to debate RFK about this subject on my show. And dude, Dr. Pete just deflects and deflects and deflects, and he don't want any part of this, and he'll talk some shit.
Yep.
He doesn't want any part of this debate. Well, the purse has gotten up. The last I saw, and I believe it was yesterday when I saw this, the last I saw was Clint Russell had tweeted something that the purse had actually got up to $1.5 million.
Now that my brain is now at work and I'm kind of rethinking, you have everybody putting up money towards it too, such as Jeremy from the Quartering, you have Tim Pool, and then also some folks from the Daily Wire. I believe Ben Shapiro's putting up money too, just to see what's going on. Dude, this is hilarious.
We're up in the millions now. Dr. Pete won't do this. So this means, you know, one of three things. One of two, really. He either hates people who need charity, and he, you know, he doesn't care and he doesn't want people to get any charity, even though there's
I
millions
got that vibe. He hates people, but he
you know,
pushes the jab.
or
Or
he knows he's going to get smashed and he's completely wrong, and that fucking narrative will, you know, be shot down to hell, which it already is. At this point, if he's not willing to take millions of dollars for charity to debate RFK on this subject, what does that tell you?
it tells us a lot of things. I, for one, I am the type that says I don't like beating a dead horse or jumping on a dog pile. If you got the shot, you did it for what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
On this show, we never talk shit about people who got it. We talk shit about people who called the people who didn't want to do it pieces of shit. I will definitely go after your ass.
Yeah, because somebody was like trying to force somebody to do it. Of course, you know, we're going to put you on blast, but we never were like, you know, anti-vaxxers or anything like that. We just chose not to do it. But if somebody else wanted to get it, knock yourself out. It's your body. I don't care.
Like, I still miss the days where anti-vax was a hippie mom with hairy armpits that refused to take her child to a doctor. That's the anti-vaxxer that I miss so fucking much. Jesus. But now it's almost like a derogatory term. You know what I'm saying? It's like calling somebody something really bad. Oh, you're anti-vax.
Right.
No, just anti this shot, which I see is being recommended for the fall, which we talked about this a long time ago. Every what season was going to come around and we would have to get it done again. Rhymes with flu.
Oh, the flu
Yeah.
shot.
Because they're talking about that on Facebook. I believe it was on the WDIV Click on Detroit page. Make sure you get this one because the other one faded away. I mean, hey, if you want to go get it, go get it. You protect yourself.
Yeah, knock
Protect
yourself out, y'all.
People lock their doors at night. You might as well get what you want in your body as well. I don't give a shit. Do you? Just don't shove it down my throat.
Right. But this RFK shit is showing us many things. And the one thing that it's really showing us is that the lies are about to be exposed. And I don't care what anybody says, and I might get heat for this, you know, from YouTube or Spotify or whatever. The government fucking lied about COVID, just like they fucking lied about the Iraq war, just like they fucking lied about the Ukraine war, and just like they lied about everything. They lie about everything. They lied about
Sean, I missed.
Dude.
I know.
We're going to come out and say it right now. The government had everything to do, our own government had everything to do with COVID-19 being released. All that bullshit that it started from, you know, bats from some market in Wuhan, or it came from some lab. No, this was a gain-of-function weapon. It was a biological weapon to be used at some sort of war. Somehow, some way it got leaked. I'm going to say it's on purpose, and I don't really give a shit what anybody says about me. The shit was released on purpose to scare the fuck out of the populace and make them compliant and fucking rely on the system that continuously, can I talk today? Continuously fucks us every single day.
Yep. And it was during an election year too. We can go ahead and chalk that up too.
But no, this whole RFK thing is proving us to be true, that this shit was put out there on purpose, and now they're scrambling, trying to hide their fucking lies because RFK exposed this shit. I believe them. I'm not even on Team RFK. I'm not voting for that clown. No. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I would love to see? I would love to see RFK take fucking Biden out in the primaries.
Yeah, I just love how there's actually Democrats pissed off about you're going to throw Biden up there. What the fuck do you mean?
The fact that they're doing this again in 24, 330 some odd million people here in the United States of America. I'm sure there's plenty of brilliant and bright people with great ideas, and we're going to run this back with Trump and Biden again. Are you fucking kidding me? Which we'll get into Trump in a second. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, Everybody deserves better. We deserve better. America deserves better.
Well, fuck. I mean, the last time they were primary, you had 20 fucking candidates. 20. One of them I really fucking wanted. And she didn't get it. But they gave it to some other broad with an old man.
That got smashed by the other broad that you liked.
Everybody knows my broad.
Yep,
Tulsi.
everybody loves Tulsi. You love Tulsi. Now, that's the other thing. So now, a lot of people said Tulsi might run with Trump. No, I think Tulsi might run with RFK.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
I think so. That seems to be the vibe I'm getting from, some of the other podcasters I'm listening to and such. That Tulsi is going to jump on RFK's coattails, even though she left the Democrat Party, which makes it even more interesting. But like, what do they think they're going to do? Bring Democrats back to their glory to what they used to be in the 60s? Because there's way too many fucking progressives in there to ever get that.
Well, I really wouldn't say it was the 60s because remember, they all voted against certain shit in the fucking Civil Rights Act. So, gotta watch out what you say on that one.
Right.
Because the party switched. No, they didn't. They fucking did not.
But,
that's for a different topic.
But like, here we are. Do you think RFK is a psyop though?
There's something else going on.
Because I think he might be one of the biggest psyops out there right now. Too.
Well,
honestly, in my own personal opinion,
you have to put this into play. Corn Pop Joe can't hold it together, so he needs something for you to focus on. And UFOs are real. Can we just fucking take what I just said together, put them together? Think,
McFly, think. What, that they've come out and said that UFOs have happened and that there are aliens, and they're coming out and saying it now. But since they have every distraction with RFK and Donald fucking Trump out there, that we're not going to pay attention to any of that, or the fact that they just spent a couple more $1 billion over to Ukraine, or the fact that they're sending more weapons and money to fucking Taiwan while all these distractions are going out right now. By the way, the dollar's collapsing.
I feel like I'm on Rick and Morty. I swear to God, I fucking do. Like, we're in bad shape.
We're in bad shape.
And you would have thought worrying about Bud Light was the least of your problems.
That was another distraction, dude. Bud Light, Target, all that shit. Anything that they can get the masses, centrally focused on and angry about while they do whatever fuckery they're doing behind the scenes. Because all that shit's true. They just sent more money to Ukraine. They just sent more weapons and money to fucking Taiwan. And Trump's in fucking trouble. And RFK's, stirring the pot on Joe Rogan. And everybody's focused on that stuff. While, oh, by the way, they just raised the debt ceiling unlimited until 2025, by the way, too. Nothing to see.
We've yet to have any arrests from Epstein's list.
Nothing. This is the most ADHD show we've had in a long time. Oh my God.
Yeah, but this is all happening in real time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It's
making sense. Don't worry, folks. We will segue to another moment because we got to talk about some Trump shit.
Dude, we have to talk about Trump shit.
No, fuck it. So I'm a firm believer that he was the sacrificial lamb, just like how RFK is apparently. Because what his indictment did was open the floodgates on all presidents that we've had that are currently alive. Anything goes, especially when the party swaps. When the House goes Democrat or Republican, because we're stuck on stupid with two parties like we always bitch about. You know what I'm saying? It literally opens everything up. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are this shit's so out of whack right now, and that they push all this shit and they don't stop talking about it. Like they won't stop talking about Trump. What do they have on Trump? They're trying to get him for the Espionage Act, right? But they don't really have that on him. They have something. They don't have enough to really put him in prison. And even if they did, people like that don't go to prison. I think that he is a martyr. I think they're using him as a martyr, is what they're doing right now.
I feel that is how I feel.
They're trying to make
here's
a
the thing
out of him
and
because
Trump knows he's the martyr.
Yeah.
So he's happy to go down because others are going to go down with him.
Well, because they're freaking out. The Democrats know, dude, Trump's like at 60% right now. Like he's killing everyone in these
Holy
polls.
shit, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just heard that today. That today. You know, and that like he's way ahead of everybody. And you'll see political polls where him and Biden are a little bit closer. Maybe he's winning a little bit. Maybe Biden's winning a little bit. From what I just heard today, is that Trump is at like 60% right now, which makes anybody else not even close.
Close.
He's by far way ahead in the Republican side of it. You know, and more Republicans are coming out right there. You know, DeSantis has come out, you know, and him and Trump are at odds, button heads or whatever. I think all this shit is a psyop right now. It really is a psyop. I think Trump's in on it, honestly.
I think DeSantis really doesn't want it because if you're DeSantis, why the fuck would you even leave Florida? You've really changed it. You've changed the whole fucking state. Why would you do it?
I think there was too much pressure for him to not do it.
Not do it. Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'll play right here, but I'm not. That's all we're going to do. So.
But I mean, really, in theory, I mean, he raised $1 million in the matter of like 5 minutes when he went on the Twitter space that first time or whatever, you know, so he can get the money, you know, from the donors and whatnot, but like he's still 30 or 40 points behind Trump. You know, and I feel like the more they push this Trump shit on the TV, the more his approval rating goes up, the more they want him. It's so bizarre, dude.
I think they need it just to get ratings. You know what I'm saying? He needs an opponent, kind of like, you know, Rocky, the movie Rocky. Apollo Creed needed an opponent. That's all he needed. He needed somebody.
But like,
DeSantis is that opponent.
Here's the thing with Donald Trump, okay? And this is a number of reasons why I don't want to see him run nor get elected, but here's what really goes down. Trump spent almost $7 trillion in 4 years. That is fucking ridiculous. That's more money than Obama spent in 8 years, and that was more money than Bush spent in 8 years. Okay? And they had wars under their belts. Now, everybody will say, hey, well, Trump didn't start any wars, which is a fact. He did not start any wars. But he damn sure escalated a bunch of them, dude. He escalated.
Hold on.
Whoop, where'd you go, buddy? We lost Bubba for a second. Oh my gosh. But the bottom line is, I don't know where Bubba went, so I'm just going to go with it. The bottom line is Trump spent $7 trillion in 4 years. He escalated wars. He didn't start any, but he damn sure escalated them. He dropped more bombs, you know, than, you know, the guy before him. I mean, Obama dropped a bunch of bombs and Trump dropped a bunch of bombs. He just didn't happen to start any wars. He also rolled out that vaccine that, you know, a lot of his camp was anti-vax about. But Operation Warp Speed, that was Donald fucking Trump, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and also, he's back. What's up, dude? Do we have audio on you? No, we don't. I lost you. Where are you?
What do you mean we don't?
There we go. You're back. You're back. You're back. Okay.
All right. You're good. You're good.
You were gone. I broke it down how like Trump started Operation Warp Speed. You know, he escalated wars. He spent all that money. Oh, by the way, he kept Dr. Fauci. He could have got rid of Dr. Fauci. And all his people are like anti-vax, anti-Fauci, anti-this, anti-that. The Republicans are more fiscally responsible. No. Oh, by the way, Trump banned bump stocks. He said he was going to take the guns first and then due process second. Is this what you want as a president? Because if you care about freedom and or liberty, that is not what the fuck you want as president at all.
The only thing I really liked was we were net negative in oil. That's what I liked.
Because he was drilling.
Yeah, we should be drilling here. We have oil underneath our feet, and we're not going to run out of this natural resource. It keeps growing. So that was a fun little fucking thing. I went down on a rabbit hole, by the way, folks. We're not going to run out of oil anytime soon.
No.
Because back in the 70s, they did this shit and people would be waiting for. I'm sure your parents had to wait in line for gas and everything. Yeah, we're not on a shortage at all. It's if we're willing to drill for it. That's about fucking it. This is all about greed.
Oh, and guess what, motherfuckers? I haven't said
Oh,
that in so long.
hey,
That's
there we
been a
go.
while since I said that. This is a vintage Bud show right here, like Bud's in the basement days. But yeah, guess what, motherfuckers? Oil replenishes itself. Oil makes more oil.
It does.
They act like we're going to run out of oil or some shit. No, we're not. That is totally untrue. It is totally untrue. And the fact
when you've been lied to, you get really upset.
Because this whole situation is upsetting. What they're doing to the people is upsetting. You know, I just had Scott Horton on the show and we were talking foreign policy. You know, I don't know if you were able to check that one out or whatever, but you know, we talked about the Iraq war in his book enough already, and the whole Middle East war, not just Iraq. You know, we talked about the whole war on terror dating back, you know, decades ago, and how, you know, how the foreign policy affects us all. You know, as a former soldier now, you know, how do you feel about, well, first off, let's say this. The recruit numbers are the lowest they've ever been.
I've been loving that.
The recruitment numbers are actually like awful, like off the scales awful. They can't get anybody to join the military. And here they are. Gee, I wonder why, right? Now here they are provoking a war with Russia, and now they're provoking a war with China. Oh, and by the way, they were picking on Mexico not too long ago too, because Mexico joined the BRICS system. That's our neighbors, you know. You know, as a former soldier, you know, what the fuck do you think about that? You know,
enough soldiers. We don't have the personnel. We're not ready for this.
No, especially for a nuclear fallout. I mean,
it leaves us vulnerable for attack. Folks, I'm sorry, it's gonna happen. It's happening one way or another. I'm not being a conspiracist about it or anything. The amount of good men and women that left the military within the last 5 fucking years. We are not them. We are not him. We are not her. We are not that country, that big badass country. I love all these videos about the Russians military isn't shit compared to ours. Motherfucker, yeah, they are. I hate the fucking who the hell fuck told you that shit? Their special forces is just as fucking good as ours. I hate to fucking tell you guys. All because that we're underneath a huge SOCOM umbrella that we have, you know, range and listen. We are a modern monarchy. That's what we are. Why do we have the Navy in Pearl Harbor or in Hawaii? So we have control of the fucking Pacific. Why do we have a base in almost every fucking NATO country? So we have control. We are England. We left England. We fucking are England.
yeah. This is all about power now. This has nothing to do, all these wars, there hasn't been a war. I mean, some will argue this, but you know, really technically in theory, there hasn't been a war that had to do with, you know, our freedoms and liberties since World War II. And that can even be, you know, kind of debated depending on who you ask. But we were attacked in Pearl Harbor, okay? So
yeah, we were.
So we had a reason to go, you know, do what we needed to do after that. That's pretty justified, you know, but since then, there hasn't been an attack on this country besides 9/11. And 9/11 is a little interesting because we provoked that. Not many people understand that. You know, we just talked about this when I had Scott Horton on last week. You know, we provoked the Middle East. We wouldn't leave them alone. We put up military bases in their holiest of holy lands, knowing that would piss them off. We knew that would piss them off.
Well, a lot of people
put those military bases anywhere else, and they put it in the holiest of holy lands in that area, knowing that it would stir the pot.
Oh, definitely. We've throughout history, we've put our noses where it didn't belong. I hate to tell you, folks, we're not the good guys in this story.
No, we haven't been for many decades, dude.
Like, we have a lot of pride of being Americans. Red, white, blue, American flag waving. Yo, the world thinks we're arrogant. You can bet on that. The world thinks we're evil. You can bet on that. It's we got a lot. We got a lot of gut checking to go, man. Like, and for what's going on now, especially as citizens, how everything's being broken down. I mean, homeless through the roof, drug use through the roof. I mean, you have big corporations leaving big cities. I mean, San Francisco, that town is a shithole now. It's literally a shithole. AT&T, they're out of there. Fucking corporate offices, they left. All the drugs and the shit on the streets. Homeless population out of control. Portland, way out of control. Minneapolis,
LA, dude, LA's a shithole.
LA, Skid Row, it's almost the whole fucking thing. Chicago, same thing. Yo, we worry about the citizens, but we don't fix or solve the problems. You know what I'm saying?
No, because if they solve the problems, then they have nothing to fight over to keep people divided.
So it's literally politicians are just going to fight about power. Who's got it? Who's got the juice? Pretty much. Who holds the keys? As far as the people, we got to hold each other responsible. And not many of us want to go through the pain to get to the glory. They want the easy way out. They want the handout. That's not how life goes, folks. I hate to tell you, that's not how life is. You know, you're supposed to bust your ass. You're supposed to, go through the mistakes. You want to make mistakes. You want to be able to succeed. Making mistakes is how you learn in life.
Right.
There's no such thing. That's how you get better. You want failure. If people don't succeed because they're afraid of failure, and you miss all the shots you never take in life. So there's that for you. And us as a country, citizen-wise, we're not on the same page at all. We're all stuck on stupid. We're being literally raised by phones and social media. I'm sorry, I'm speaking it like it is. This show goes on social media, and we're part of a heavy influence ourselves, because if we're doing this right now, off camera, we need to be in the street helping out.
Right.
Help your neighbor. Help your fellow person. It's not happening. None of it is. Everybody, most of this show that I've done with you, I've been called Trump supporter, right winger.
You've been a right-wing extremist, a Trumper.
Okay.
What outside,
outside of being called that, do any of you know me? Sean can tell you, I'm the type of guy that gives you the shirt off my back.
Right.
I'll give you my last dollar for you to get a cheeseburger. That's me.
You're one of the best dudes I know, dude. But like, people don't look at that. And people don't look at shit like that. Like, if you are on the opposite side of them now, you are an enemy. That's where we are in this country. It's
because it's masked.
And they literally worship the ground these politicians walk on, whether it's the right or the left. And leftists are so funny when it comes to like how, they're Biden's going to save them and they're going to get all this free shit, and free school and free healthcare and all that. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm going to say it again because it's been a while. If Biden really wanted to do that, him and Obama would have done it back when Obama was in office, when they had the Senate and they had the Congress and they had the presidency all at the same time. They could have passed assault weapon bans.
Everything.
They could have passed universal health care. They could have passed, what else? Free college. They could have passed all of that. No problem. It would have totally passed. They had power. They had the power to do it. They don't want to do it because it keeps their people on their toes expecting more. And the right does the same shit. The right would be like, hey, we care about your civil liberties. We care about shrinking the government. We care about taxation. We care about spending. No, they don't. No, they don't. You know, when they first took over the Congress, they said they were going to abolish the IRS. Yeah, they had the presidency, the House, and the Senate during Trump too. They could have done that back then. They don't want to.
Politicians, no matter what side they are, they will keep their constituents in the dark and feed them shit just like mushrooms. Don't ever forget that.
I mean, that's how they do it, and it's really politics, dude. It's they're tricking us.
Ooh, politics,
dude. And we all know a trick is a bitch, dude. We all know that, dude. And these politicians ain't nothing but a bunch of bitches, dude. Because all they do is restrict our rights, take our money, and then when they mismanage our money, they say, "Hey, we're taking more."
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's how this works. There's only one way out of this, and it's not more Republicans and Democrats. Republicans are not going to shrink the size of government. And these Democrats are straight communists. Mm-hmm. These progressives are communists. There's no other way to sugarcoat this shit, dude. Why do they want to disarm you? It makes no sense. Especially if they say they love BLM so much and they love the LGBTQIA, QRST, whatever, if they love these people so much, armed minorities are harder to oppress. Armed women are harder to oppress. So why do you want to disarm them? Because some lunatic gets a hold of a gun and shoots some mall up or a school or anything, and it's the gun's fault.
Because they want to take every law-abiding citizen up.
Bubba, how about this? You're a big fella. The next time I see you with a spoon in your hand, I'm going to slap it out of your hand. No more.
Man, assault spoons?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Spoons make me fat.
Seriously, though, man. Like, these people act like these guns are so terrible. It's an inanimate object. The last time I checked, the gun can't load itself. It can't run around and shoot itself.
You guys can stare at a bullet all day long. It will not explode until you put it in a weapon with a fire.
It won't even move, dude. And neither will that gun.
It won't move. It's a tool. It's a tool. A gun is a tool.
Me and Mrs. Buds just watched Idiocracy. She had never watched it before.
Oh my God. How did she not like it?
Dude, first off, it's a really stupid movie. It really is stupid. But
you have to force yourself at some parts, yes.
But, dude, we're living it. We are living Idiocracy. Please go watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Go watch yourself Idiocracy and you'd be like, oh my God.
And have some water. Yeah, like from the toilet.
Yeah. Yes, the toilet water. You mean water the plants from the toilet? Well, yeah. What the fuck? That shit was crazy.
Go watch it, educate yourself, have a laugh, and roll your eyes. Just
have a good laugh and have some stupid comedy put at you. You'll be like, oh my God. Same thing with 1984. Read the book.
Read the book. Don't watch the movie. It is a terrible thing to watch. I
gotta read that and Animal Farm. I have copies of both now. So
Animal Farm's a good one.
Animal Farm is good. But this is where we're at in this nation right now. It's I don't know what else to tell people other than, if you want change, you're gonna have to force the change. You're not gonna get change by electing the same people over and over again. We've been doing this for decades. We can beat a dead horse all we want, but Republicans aren't going to change anything and Democrats aren't going to change anything. The time for change now. Stop voting for them.
They call it change for a reason. Don't vote for the same people.
Yeah, there's no change if you're voting for the same people. There's no change when the same people are running for president.
Yeah, there's
really. If you want change, you have to make change. It has to be you. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with every listener, all your neighbors. They have to really, really want something different. Because I know this for a fact. I live in liberal Michigan, where, you know, there's pride flags everywhere. And not that I care about that. I'm just, you know, painting a picture for you. You know, there's pride marches every weekend, you know, in where we're at and stuff like that in the summertime. And even people out here are like, hey, what the fuck? But they also don't know what to do. And then maybe you bring up libertarianism to them, and they're like, well, they're a bunch of extremists. Well, what makes them extremists? And then they don't know what to say about that because we like guns. Well, because of the guns. So how does that make us extreme? Because we like guns? Well, I don't know. Guns are bad because the TV told us so.
Sean, did you know if we would ever go back to the wild, wild west, we'll have mass casualties by people just tripping over themselves?
They wouldn't be able to handle it. They would be terrified.
And this is not like a jab at the, I know I make some hipster jokes. Look, I do hipster things myself. You should see the markets I shop at. You should see the bougie products I like to indulge on. It's the same shit. Okay. So I'm not going to hop on it, but you have to know how to defend yourself, folks. You have to know how to, you have to be resourceful. Holy shit. That is something that these fucking younger generations, I know you're Gen X and I'm fucking, unfortunately, a millennial. Anyway, God, does that fucking hurt to say out loud? But what I'm saying is nobody wants to be resourceful anymore. They just want to be a recipient. And it sucks just to see people struggle on the simplest shit.
Right.
Like, it's not hard to grow a garden. Sean, you do it yourself.
Do it every year, man.
Do it every year, and it's very rewarding as you
Yes.
get food.
I got
A lot of
cucumbers
things you
right now, man. It's great.
and you don't have to go to the grocery store. Granted, yeah, grocery store. By the way, folks, yes, cucumbers have gone up in price. But what I'm trying to say is you don't have to spend that dollar. That dollar stays with you. Nobody knows the value of a dollar anymore, which is fucking driving me crazy too.
Because it's not worth anything. It's all counterfeit.
Facts. Also, nobody wants to learn resourceful things such as going to get food, such as fishing or hunting. If you're not going to do it for your cheeseburger at McDonald's, the people who get the cattle at the slaughterhouse will. Catch my drift?
Right.
Which, by the way, folks who are on the opposite side of ball of me, because I know you guys like to lump me into Trumpism and all that. Don't you guys hate cow farts and shit like that? You know, Green New Deal motherfuckers. You guys hate that shit, right? So you think this happens when people go hunting? No, there's no cow farts. People go get deer or they raise some cattle, but not enough to smell. Have you ever driven past a fucking slaughterhouse where they have cows outside?
Oh yeah.
Off of I-70 in fucking Nebraska? It smells to high fucking heaven for miles. It's terrible. So that's like the one you gotta eat. You gotta eat. But however, like little farmers or ranchers, they have a handful of cattle that they either sell or slaughter their own cow. That's just the way things go. And Ted Nugent himself would say, "Oh, you like soybeans? You know how many animals I have to kill for you to have your soybeans?"
Right.
I really enjoy it. If you guys ever get to find that snippet on social media, it's an enjoyable piece.
Oh, I've seen that before, and he just totally goes off about how that has to grow and how many, you know, animals have to be taken out of the way so that can't grow because animals will eat it and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
There are no saints among sinners. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. But since we're into music right now, that clip I sent you of Crazy Bone.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God. We're gonna move on to music and something else besides politics right now, because you know what? You guys get it. You guys get it. But I will say one thing before we move away from the politics. If you really, really, really want change and you really want to move away from government, learn Bitcoin. And that's all I'll say. Once you learn Bitcoin, you will see no need for a central government and or a central bank. And that's that. That's all I got. Learn Bitcoin. I'm telling you right now. You'll decentralize yourself on your own as soon as you figure. Definitely.
Learn Bitcoin, and if not, learn ramen noodles.
Seriously. Even though those are like almost $1 a bag now. Remember those were like 20 cents? There was a time.
Yes.
But no, Crazy Bone. Crazy Bone, there's a video that came out. Donnie the Don actually tweeted it. And it's Crazy Bone and doing somebody's podcast. And he talks about a meeting in 1991 that he had with some other rappers and some record execs and not record execs had together. And this is a very interesting video, and I'll try to make sure it gets up on socials by the time this show comes out, because it's pretty wild. So these rappers have a meeting with record execs and dudes that weren't record execs. Okay, they go to somebody's house to do it. It wasn't at like a building of any sort. I think I'm saying that right. I hope, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was at somebody's house. Now, they could tell the difference between the guys that didn't work for the record company and the guys who did, because the guys who worked for the record company were very chatty, talking biz and whatnot. And the other guys didn't say much of nothing. Well, they get into this meeting, right? And Crazy Bone goes on to say that they find out that these other gentlemen that aren't with the music industry are actually people who own these private prisons. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what the fuck? Well, same here until he dug into it. Well, long story short, they wanted these rappers to purposely make this music about violence, gangs, shooting, bitches and hoes and, shit that would get people in trouble. And they wanted them to keep making this music to, get in people's heads like, hey, this is cool. So we can go out and do some gangbang and shit and get themselves locked up. This is their mindset in this meeting. Now, some of the rappers were like, fuck this shit, we're out of here. And he didn't drop any names because he don't want to get, Crazy Bone didn't kill himself. You know what I mean? We didn't want to have a situation like that. So he left the names out of who was there. But, a good handful of them left this fucking meeting. They're like, fuck you people, we're out. And the other ones that did stay, during the whole talk, when they're saying, hey, we need to keep these prisons full, make this kind of music, no more rapping about good times and, whatever. It's all about violence and selling drugs now. That's what you're going to do, is this gangster shit. This is a real meeting that they had in this house. Crazy Bone talked about it. I as Larry Sharp says, I got the receipts. Bubba has the receipt on his phone. I sent him the video. Like, that's pretty fucking wild, dude. That they had owners of prisons with record label execs and actual rappers in the same building talking about, you have to make this kind of music so people keep getting locked up so we can keep our prisons full.
Which proves that, yeah, prisons make money, unfortunately.
Well, yeah. But holy shit, to hear that come out of a rapper's mouth, and this dates back to 1991, ladies and gentlemen.
91. Yes.
91, and I had to talk about that on the show, dude, because I found that, you and I are both music nerds, especially when it comes to hip-hop. Crazy Bone,
huge hip-hop
harmony, yeah, man. Like, that was, that was our shit back in the day. But yeah, that was a little something, a little wild that, that kind of really turned my head to the music industry going, wow. And then he, I don't really know what came out of that meeting or what didn't come out of that meeting. Obviously, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't go into on who jumped on and who jumped off, but there was people who left that meeting and were like, absolutely not.
Well, more and more is coming out. Like, the music business is a real enigma, shall we say, right now. Very shady. There's a lot of things that go down. There's been so many rappers that have, I want to say, it's kind of weird to say silently came out, because they're not really being so silent anymore, of just meetings and parties and certain symbolism in their music, from the music to the album covers to the photo shoots. There's a lot of weird symbolism, as if it was cult-like. So, you guys want to go down rabbit holes like that, shoot me on Twitter or BudsnReality. I'll definitely give you some links. Very interesting. Really don't want to reveal the details too much on here if you catch my drift.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I don't
um,
think that either, man. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's like, man, this shit sounds conspiracy like, and I'll be looked at like a damn crazy person if I say this shit, but it makes sense.
Well, I mean, the music industry is run by the same people who run everything. You know, they're a bunch of dirtbags, pedos, you know, thieves. They're awful people. Really,
Mhm.
honestly, these people who are high up, who are in the industry, whether it be Hollywood, music, you know, there's some very, very, very bad people in there. And now, you know, more and more stuff comes out, whether it be, some rape shit or some Illuminati shit. Like,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting because remember, Cat Williams, he got canceled for revealing a bunch of shit he saw at parties, and a lot of them had to deal with the music industry because it was
yes,
Cat Williams in the mid 2000s. Remember, he was the hottest comedian out there
yeah, and they
with Dave
tried to play
Chappelle.
him off like he was a crackhead and he didn't know what he was talking about and shit. I remember that.
Yeah, man, they tried to play him off. They did him dirty.
Same thing with
So,
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson,
uh,
spoke out against Hollywood, and then all of a sudden he's getting in trouble with the law. Like right after that, he's got issues with the law, and he's
oh
an
yeah, I
anti-Semite
remember
and all that. Holy shit.
a huge anti-Semite. Then it's like, fuck's going on, man?
Well, because
So,
if you say anything, and that's the problem. We talked about this during the Kanye shit back late last year, where like the Jews own Hollywood, they own the media, they own the music industry, and we just got done saying that a lot of those people aren't the best people in the world. Well, when you come out and you speak out against them, dude, they'll fucking take
I'm
you
just
out.
fucking with you, man.
Look what they did to Kanye West, dude.
Oh hey, yeah,
They took his money, they took his bank accounts, everything.
they
Not
took
that
everything
I pro
away.
Kanye, I'm not by all means. I felt bad for the guy for a minute, and then I got over it, after he did the Alex Jones show. But yeah, man, you can't say anything about those people or they will come after you. They will make sure you don't work anymore. They'll make sure you don't have any money. Like they will come after you hard. This is where we're at. And this is why so many of us hate Hollywood now. I call it Hollyweird.
No, it's Hollywood. It's definitely it's
It's
always gonna be Hollywood.
It's definitely weird. But yeah, that
Mhm.
that crazy bone tidbit was that had to be said, you know.
Definitely interesting, man.
But let's before we go, dude, since we're on the music thing, let's talk about your boy Jelly Roll for a minute because I know you dig him. Got some
Yes,
music
yes,
out
Jelly Roll.
too, man.
Yeah, dude. So, yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Jelly Roll #1 motherfucker on the boards. You guys don't know him, pretty much. He went from doing trap music with 3 6 Mafia to doing fucking country music at the Grand Ole Opry. Uh, he raps, he sings. It's almost like damn church music with this last album, and I swear to God, the lyrics just really fucking get to you at an older age. I'll tell you that because I'm turning 40 this year, and it gets you right in the feels.
Yep.
Uh, New album, Whitslet Chapel. It's really good. I suggest you guys download it, check it out. There's really not a bad album, bad song with Jelly Roll on it. Um, it's really enjoyable. Recently, Hulu dropped his documentary. It's called Save Me because during the pandemic when we were all locked up, he made a song called Save Me.
I remember that.
This thing had no real promotion, no real effort. We're talking like here's a boom mic, you got a guy playing a string guitar right behind you with headphones on and a camera in front of you, and he's sang it, and it exploded. Obviously, it's one of his most popular tracks now, almost of ever, because he's done music with Tech Nine, he's done music with Yellow Wolf. Um, it's the type of song that he would say the first two lyrics of somebody, and he could just take the mic out, and the entire crowd will sing it word for fucking word. Anyway, Jelly Roll, Save Me. It's on Hulu. It's a documentary made by interesting ABC Studios.
Really?
And it's uncut. You have Jelly Roll smoking weed in it, swearing his ass off, just being himself. Talks about how he came up as a young youth because he was incarcerated as a young man. He spent his 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st birthday locked behind bars. And then he had a kid, and he was just like, man, I got to get out of here. And then he just went. So definitely my favorite artist.
I know that's
Great.
your boy for sure.
That's my boy, dude. That's my fucking boy, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
my boys just came out with a new album on June 2nd, dude. Let me grab it real quick.
Boom.
Avenged Sevenfold, Life is But a Dream. I've been talking about this album on Twitter and every other social media platform since it came out, since probably before that. Album of the year, dude. Hands down, nothing comes close to it. Now they're a metal band. They're a metal band, but dude, this album is different, more different than anything they have ever made ever. Dude, you get like some Mozart vibes to it. You get some techno vibes to it. You get some Daft Punk vibes to it. There's a lot of synth work in it.
You get some Daft Punk.
Oh, dude, listen to the song "Ordinary" by Avenged Sevenfold, and it sounds like we're up all night to get lucky. Oh, dude, it's so fucking dope, dude. I love that song so much. But this album, let me tell you the story about this album. So they hadn't released anything since 2016. No new music. Maybe they dropped a couple songs, and maybe put out a couple of covers just for fun, but no new album since 2016. It's been a long time. I've been impatiently waiting for a while. Well, the story goes, during the process of recording the album, there was a lot of mushrooms taken in DMT. And one of the songs is about an outer body experience, that they had while in the process of, it's called Nobody. And the video's got some, post-apocalyptic vibes to it. It's pretty cool. But anyhow, I get the album. I have it for a while. And I had plans to listen to the album properly the weekend it came out. It didn't come to fruition that weekend. So the next weekend, I was able to do that. And by listen to it properly, I mean, I took some shrooms. I went on a journey.
On a journey, eh?
That is the album you have to listen to while you're on a journey. Like, holy shit, dude. And you get all the feels. All the feels will come from this album. I promise you that. If you start it from the beginning and listen to it to the end, you just get all the vibes, all the feels. I get goosebumps talking about it because it actually helped me work through some shit. This has been a shit year for me, if I'm being quite honest. You know what I mean? Between
very therapeutic.
all my bullshit with my stomach and having to have surgery and missing all kinds of work because of it. And then I had to put my dog down. That broke my fucking heart, dude. It hasn't been the greatest, and I don't need anybody feeling bad for me, or, I don't want a sob story or anything like that. I'm just letting you know where my mindset was when I went into this. And I was like, I really need to work some shit out and do this, and I did. And I was able to work all this shit out, that I had going on. And I went through all the emotions. And of course, of all the emotions I went through, Mrs. Bud comes down here as I'm like weeping, dude. There's a song called Cosmic on the album. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's my favorite. And it's really deep, actually, lyrically. And it's super cool. And it really tugged on my heartstrings and my soul. So like, she walks in here and I'm like weeping, dude. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, actually nothing. I'm not sad. You know what I mean? I'm tripping balls. You know what I mean? But I'm not sad. I'm obviously working through something, but like, she's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Actually, I've never been better, but I am weeping right now because I'm on a journey. And so that being said, I highly recommend anybody not only buy that album, but take the journey and listen to that album from front to back and back to front while you're on that journey. And you'll be able to work through some shit if you need to work through some shit. I promise you that.
Well, I just might have to do that further then.
Yeah, well, I mean, shrooms are great, dude. I don't even care. I never used to talk about them a whole bunch on the show, but like,
I think she do. So
But yeah, man, that's all I got for this week, y'all. I wanted to keep it a little tamer. We did a little bit vintage bud shit. What do you got before we go, brother?
live, laugh, toast the best.
Nice. Well, y'all, until next week, peace, love, and liberty. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Take care.